I've been in crypto since 2019. That's over 7 years as a full-time investor, YouTuber, and now crypto project founder. During this time, I've been scammed, I've been rug pulled, I've made millions of dollars, but at other times I've lost millions all in a single trade. I've made pretty much every mistake that you can, but each and every time I've made a mistake, I've learned a valuable lesson. And by understanding these valuable lessons, I've slowly become a much more profitable, much more successful long-term crypto investor. So in this video, I want to share with you everything that I wish I knew about crypto before I got involved in the industry. And I'm going to do it all in under 20 minutes. This could be one of the most useful videos I've ever made, so do me a favor, hit the like button and let's get into it. Now guys, I personally believe in order to be successful in crypto and make money over time, you simply need to know 4 things. That's it. 4 things. You need to know what to buy, you need to know when to buy it, and you need to know when to sell it. And you also need to know what to do in the middle of all of those other things. Now, if you've been involved in crypto for more than 5 minutes, you know that it's not as easy as that because there's lots of other things going on. Our emotions and psychology for one. The media, the news, what are they telling us about each and every day? Hundreds of different influencers, all with their own opinions. And then there's the charts racing up and down every 5 minutes. It's all very confusing. However, during many years of having significant wins and some significant losses, I've realized that there are around 7 key points to pay attention to that are going to help you to understand exactly how to answer those 4 questions at the top. Because if you can answer those 4 questions of what to buy, when to sell it, and what to do in the middle, then you are going to be profitable. And the people who stick around in this industry for long enough can genuinely make life-changing sums of money. Now, without further ado, let's jump in and talk about the 7 key points that I have identified that are hopefully going to accelerate your learning journey as a crypto investor so that you don't have to sit on that emotional roller coaster for 7 years. Number 1, do your own research. Now, people think this is something that influencers and YouTubers or whoever it is say just as a legal disclaimer. Well, maybe that's true for some people, but I personally believe it's because you have to do your own research if you want to make any money at all. Here's why. The very simple reason that crypto, if you hadn't noticed, is volatile. It goes up and down a lot in any given period of time. And if you are unable to research and have conviction in a particular token or whatever it is that you're holding, then any particular volatility, for example, a dip lower, is going to shake you out the market. Typically, this is why people end up selling the lows and then you see the price rebound the next day, causing a lot of stress. It then causes people to jump back in and whatever else. But if you've researched the project and you believe that that project is a strong project and has good opportunity to see growth as the market warms up into the future, then there's a good chance that you can hold through that volatility, perhaps even adding at lows, giving yourself a better opportunity to see some more upside in the long run. And just as an example why it's so important to understand fundamentally what you are holding, back in 2020, Solana, a token you probably know, dumped around 80 or 90% to being worth $1 per token. It then went up to around $259 in that bull market, meaning that if you put in $1,000 at $1, you would have made yourself $259,000, which for most people out there is life-changing money. But think about all the people who sold at the very bottom and then felt sorry for themselves aping in somewhere near the top. And it wasn't just Solana that did this. Mana Decentraland, Gala Games, loads of projects went to the pretty much death and then absolutely exploded after that. Next up, influencers. Now, you probably realize that there are good influencers and bad influencers. In my opinion, what makes a good influencer is that they have done research and have their own opinion. This can be very valuable because lots of time spent in research is handed to you on a plate, and therefore you can use it to go and do some of your research. Bad influencers, in my mind, don't really have their own opinion. They're just kind of regurgitating the opinions of other people, flip-flopping from bullish to bearish on any given day, depending on where the market's moving, just to try and seek engagement. I think that this is really bad and can be very damaging for you if you are using that information. Now, also, when you are following an influencer, you need to understand how that individual is actually trading the markets. Me, for example, I like to buy into the markets, hopefully when the markets are near enough low, and then try to sell later on when the markets are much higher. This means that I'm a long-term investor. I'm willing to sit through some volatility, and effectively that does mean that I have to sit through the red sometimes, but effectively that's the strategy I want to play. If you're trying to make short-term wins from day to day by following someone who's a long-term investor, you're going to get very sad about that. On the flip side, if you're trying to make long-term investment decisions by following a short-term day trader, then you're also going to find yourself in a spot of bother. I see over on Twitter right now and YouTube, certain individuals placing long trades and then saying that they flipped bearish bearish today and then flip bullish, and it's causing people a lot of stress and upset. That person might be bullish or bearish on any given day. They're not trying to long-term trade the market. So think about what that person's trying to teach you and use that information. Don't just stick to one individual influencer or an influencer who's telling you what you want to hear, i.e. right now the market's started to move up. Many people out there are bullish, therefore they want to hear bullish channels telling them it's going to go up. All the people who are bearish right now, however, don't want to watch bullish content. This is a problem because all opinions are valuable, whether you agree with that opinion or not. Otherwise, this is going to happen to you. When the market's going higher and higher, you're going to watch bullish influencers who are going to tell you that it's going to keep going up until eventually it starts to come down. You start to eventually lose a bit of faith in that individual, and then eventually you're going to sell out the market, and then you're going to go and find a bearish influencer to tell you that it's going to keep going lower. Eventually, the market will start to bounce back towards the upside, and that bearish influencer who's telling you that it's going to go lower is going to leave you in a bit of a problem, because eventually you're then going to go back looking for another influencer who's going to tell you that it's keep going, meaning that you're never really going to buy low and you're never going to sell high. Effectively, you end up selling into the bottoms because you flip bearish and then go and find the confirmation at the wrong time, and then you flip bullish and go and find the confirmation at the wrong time as well. So use the information. I know it's annoying if you're bullish to go and watch a bearish influencer now and then, but there are smart people on both sides of the coin. Now, quickly, before I jump into the next one, which I think is probably the most valuable one of all, Bitunix Exchange are running a key trading competition, which is available through the link down below in the description. Over on Bitunix, you can trade pretty much every different altcoin that I'm ever going to talk about, or any other YouTuber is going to talk about for that matter. You don't have to KYC, and the platform is available in pretty much every country, which is very valuable if you're someone like me who travels around quite often. There's also a cool whales group which you can register for below, and that will allow you to access a VIP group as well as various cool events around the world and lots of other additional bonuses. Right, back on with the video. Third thing, probably the third most important, psychology. Now, psychology is very important as well because crypto is a very emotional place to be. You probably realize that there's a fear and greed index that people pay attention to because people are very emotional. But unfortunately, by being emotional, often you end up on the completely wrong side of any given trade. Now, when it comes to psychology, there's a few things that I like to talk about. One being confirmation bias. Confirmation bias is where we go and seek information that is to reinforce what we think. Right now, I am bullish. I will like to go and find people who tell me why I'm bullish, why it's a good idea to be holding crypto. This can be very dangerous because it puts the blinkers on. Really, what you want to do is go against your confirmation bias, is go and find a bear or some bearish argument and try and get that person to convince you that you shouldn't be so bullish right now. If that person fails in convincing you, then maybe you should stay bullish. This is what I'm talking about with the influencers, by the way. It's really difficult, it's really painful to go and watch someone who's bullish if you're bearish, but you really got to go against the grain and really start to find out for yourself whether you're just being a bit blind. Other things you should know more about: sunk cost fallacy. When tokens have been dying and falling towards zero, you might be feeling, well, I've held this coin for a long time, I should just keep holding because it's going to be fine. Actually, if you're going and researching tokens, you'll probably realize some of them may not be coming back from this recent downtrend that we've been in for the last few months, whilst there are other coins out there that will have strong performances and rebuild nicely. Therefore, you shouldn't think that you should just bury your head in the sand. Go and cut some losses where appropriate, move that money back into tokens that you think are going to see some significant upside from here on out. Right now, I would personally be focusing towards the larger cap coins because those typically are the ones that see the warming up in the markets first, which is why right now you're seeing Bitcoin going up, Ethereum, Sui, and whatever else. And the last thing, the fight or flight thing. Typically, when you are really scared or you're really excited, you don't make good decisions. No one does, right? We're like rabbits in the headlights. Suddenly something happens. We wake up, we see the charts are dumping, we panic. It's the worst thing to do at that given time. Typically, it's the worst thing. Also, another thing, when the markets are suddenly rallying up and suddenly we've made a lot of money in a short space of time and we start to think about that Lambo or that house or that watch that we want to buy, whatever it might be, and we start to think about adding more money in to try and make more gains, that's when you need to calm things down, be more realistic, and start to think about taking some exits perhaps, rather than going towards more risk at the most risky time in the market. Psychology pretty much rules every decision that you make in these markets. If you can control your psychology, you're going to do better than 90% of people in crypto, because that's pretty much what runs these markets most of the time. Next up, timing the market. Now, I don't care what you think. No YouTuber, no crypto investor, no macro investor, Warren Buffett, like no one ever out there has been right 100% of the time about what will happen next in any given market. Okay, particularly in the short term. Trying to anticipate what's going to happen tomorrow or over the next week in any given market is going to get you in a world of pain. So if no one's going to be right all the time, how on earth can we win? Well, by first of all, doing your own research, like I said earlier, and not relying on the opinion of another person, because the problem of relying on an opinion of another person is when suddenly the market doesn't reflect the opinion of that person, suddenly you're going to panic and you're going to move away from that opinion to someone else's opinion, and you're just going to keep dancing around opinions. But you simply need to understand this. Your only job here is to buy low and sell high. That's it. Okay? A long-term crypto investor buys low, sells high. Not buys the absolute very bottom and sells the absolute tippity top, but just buys at discount and sells for a premium. And how do you do that? You just simply need to understand the crypto market is about potential. How much can that token potentially go up or potentially go down from here on out? And therefore, how much higher can it go and how much lower could it possibly go as well? And while there's tons of indicators and tons of charts and the macro and all this other stuff and all these people telling us all these different things, fundamentally, there's pretty much only a few key things that have always led us to understand where the potential is. Remember, in order for a chart to go up, you need to see people buying. In order for you to see the chart keep going up, you need to know that there's a lot of people who can still come in and buy, which means that you don't want to buy when everybody has already bought, because there's not that much room left for it to go up. On the flip side of things, how much lower can price go if everybody has already sold? And this is why there is few better indicators out there than the Fear and Greed Index, the sentiment that you see across the markets, the performance of a bullish YouTube channel versus a bearish YouTube channel during any given period of time, because of simply this. When there's lots of fear and panic and worry across the markets, it means that most people are selling already. If you feel like you need to get out the market and sell, I guarantee that most people have already been doing that as well. Remember, where's the potential from everybody selling? Well, yes, there's potential that it can carry on going down, but remember, if everyone's sold, there's not that much lower for it to go. On the flip side of things, eventually, once things have calmed down, people will begin buying again. So here's what you got to think about. If the price is low or on discount, you need to be starting to get a little bit of exposure. And you can identify this by scary things on the news, lots of people screaming for lower, big red candles towards the downside, showing you big selling pressure, and that's pretty much it. On the flip side of things, you don't want to be buying when everyone is screaming that prices are going to go higher. You've got JP Morgan on the news and BlackRock telling you that Bitcoin's going to be worth $280,000 by later this year, whatever it is. Those are typically when you want to be getting out the market. This is euphoria. It's actually the time that you should be most scared in the market. Typically, it's the time when everyone feels the most comfortable. You should feel the least scared when the price is the lowest, but it's typically when everyone is terrified. Now, next up, discipline and patience. Now, it's easy to have lots of rules, but if you don't follow the rules, you just end up being a loser, right? We know this, right? Everything in our life is dictated by having rules, and if we can't follow the rules that we set for ourselves, we don't end up eating the right kind of food or going to bed at the right time or doing the work that we needed to do, whatever it is. I'm not going to lecture you on self-discipline. This isn't what this channel is about. But effectively, you need to write down your rules and stick to your rules. Whether that be don't buy into greedy markets or after a coin has gone up 3x. Maybe it's a buy when there's extreme fear on the charts and make sure that you do it. Maybe it's like don't use next month's rent to go and buy crypto coins, or don't borrow money or get loans to go and buy into crypto because it's risky and that's probably a bit dangerous. Maybe it's make sure that you sell after you've made a certain amount of money. Whatever it is, I don't really care. Write down your rules, know yourself and what you're incapable of doing. If you are someone who is erratic and makes crazy decisions based on impulse, you need to watch yourself like a hawk. Next up, building a portfolio and risk management. Well, it's important in crypto to put most of your money around some of the bigger projects that have stood the test of time. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and a few others that you already know. Why? Because whenever the markets get good again, they typically go up. Even if the markets are bad and they go really low, eventually they come back up. It's not going to be so stressful for you if you're holding those bigger market cap coins as it is if you're holding lots of kind of smaller market cap coins. So think about that. Altcoins can provide you healthy upside, but they can also wreck you, as you probably realized over the past few months. So only use money you can afford to lose. Now, I know down below, people are like, what does that mean? No one can afford to lose any money. Well, okay. Let's think about this for a moment. Can you lose a bit of money that you were going to use to go and spend on beers on the weekend? Probably. But you probably can't afford to lose the money that you needed to pay for your mum's hospital treatment next week or whatever it might be, okay? Don't go and use money, big money, and put it into highly risky speculative assets. If you want to see good upside, you need to be aware that good upside comes from bigger risks, okay? Bitcoin might give you a 2 or 3 or a 5x in the long run, but it's probably not going to make you a millionaire anytime soon. But it does come with much less risk, okay? So manage manage your risk, think about how to put your money in your altcoins. Don't rely on any individual to give you a specific breakdown of their own portfolio and go and copy that blindly. You probably have a different amount of money from that person telling you. You probably have different ideas on risk. You probably have different family situations. You probably have all these different other things going on. Okay, there's no one size fits all portfolio. You've got to manage it yourself. And whenever you're buying a coin, understand that they can go up and down in the short term. But if you're having the patience and you're willing to sit it out and you're buying coins with good, strong fundamentals, eventually those coins will come back up and you get to reap the rewards of having patience and remaining calm. Now, next up, goals and an exit plan. I've kind of just squished these two together. I was just writing some brief notes earlier, but you need to have goals here. What are you doing in crypto? If you're using it like a casino of just have a bit of fun, you're going to lose money like typically people do in the casino. There is money to be made here. If you're realistic and you work a little bit towards this, I feel like it can give you a pretty good ROI for the amount of time that you actually have to invest here. But the only way you're going to get anything out of this crypto market is if you know what you want to get out. Okay? If you're coming into this market being like, well, I want to make some money, how much is that? Think about it for a moment. If you are coming in saying that you want to go and make yourself $10,000 or $20,000, but you've only got $100 to your name right now, I'm sorry, but it might be difficult and you're going to put yourself through a lot of stress trying to achieve that and end up losing it. But if you're coming in with $100 and you want to exit with like $200 or $300 or $500, that's probably more doable. And there is a way for you to be able to achieve it. Once you do achieve it, then you can pull your money out and go and spend it on whatever you want to spend it on and be happy. And if you don't have enough money and you're hoping that crypto is going to be the fixer for it, I'm going to be real with you here. Yes, you can make money from investments in crypto, but the best way right now is to go out there and find a side hustle. Go and look on YouTube right now. People are scrubbing down cars. People are mowing lawns. They're videotaping it. Some people are just sat in cars, like eating burgers, and they're probably making tens of thousands of dollars each and every month just from making stupid, dumb videos that people like to go and watch. Go and think about it, okay? There is lots of ways for you to go and make more income right now. And to be honest, I don't think it's ever been easier. Okay, people won't like me saying that. I don't think it's ever been easier to make this much money. Yeah, you can go away and try and build stuff on Claude Code and whatever else, but really, the simple stuff right now, YouTube still gives you an opportunity to make some gains, in my opinion. And then if you make more money on that, invest in crypto, happy days, you're going to make a killing. So obviously have your goals and also have an exit plan. Know roughly when you're going to get out the markets, when you're going to start taking the profits off the table. You would hate to want to save $25,000 so that you can go and pay off your mortgage. You get to $30,000, you double down, and then you lose it all. It would hurt you a lot. Okay, so have an exit plan in mind. Let me know down below whether you want me to make an exit plan video. I was thinking about making one over the next few days. See if I have time. Let me know down below. And the last thing, security. If you watched my video that I made last year, where I got scammed and lost something like $160,000 in the space of about 15 minutes, which was obviously very nice, then you'll realize that getting hacked and losing money is a very painful thing to learn. But it happens all the time. Hackers and scammers are getting smarter and smarter, and the more crypto kind of grows and the more money and stuff there is circulating in the system, the worse it is going to get. You need to be very damn careful about moving money around. You need to be very careful about who you send money to, who you share your wallet addresses with, keeping everything safe. Okay, you worked hard, you've done all your research. Don't go and give your money to a bunch of scammers because it'll make you feel really crappy. Take that from somebody who's done it. So keep your money off of major exchanges, put it into hardware wallets. I believe in the section down below, there's like Ledger wallets and there's like a Decent wallet as well. I personally use Ledger wallets. I've got 5 or 6 of these wallets and I use them all the time. They're easy to use, easy to set up. If you're going to keep reasonable amounts of money in crypto at any given time, look after it properly, please. Guys, I hope you enjoyed that, found it useful. I tried to wrap it up as quickly as possible. I hope I got under 20 minutes. If you made it this far through the video and found it useful, hit the like button, and I will see you very soon in another video. Bye-bye.